Hey friends, it's Nikki. Welcome or welcome back. I have another thrift flip for you that I'm going to do today. First off, I thought it would be nice to set a nice ambiance by lighting this candle and just sit back and relax and enjoy the process. I love this time of year. I do burn a lot of candles and I just make sure that I'm close by them. They make me kind of nervous, but I love the smell. So I've had this in my stash for years and I've always loved it because it's so small and dainty, and I thought it'd be nice to give it a whole new look. I thought it'd probably be a good idea to use some salt wash on it because it's really hard to cover this type of surface, and although it's pretty scuffed up itself, I decided not to go in with sandpaper. So I'm hoping this will do the trick. We'll see. I'm making sure to get coverage all over the metal areas, underneath, on the sides of the face, just everywhere that's metal. At first, I went right in with Waverly chalk paint in the color Ivory, but I quickly realized this piece really needed some primer. So instead, I switched to Paint Couture's 2-in-1 Premium Primer, and I let that dry for a few hours just to make sure my paint is really going to grip onto this type of surface. And it, I mean, in the end, I still ended up doing a couple coats, but I'm glad I started with this because I think it would have been a real headache. I was looking at my stash and I was like, I have no spray shellac. I don't have a spray sealer. So I really got to make sure that I take the time when I'm out in town to grab some, because ideally I wished I would have had some shellac to spray on this first. I went right over that primer with the color Celery by Waverly. I didn't have you watch me put on that first coat, but here I'm adding the second one. I probably should have given the paint a better shake. You can see where it started to separate a little, but honestly, it didn't make much of a difference, and it still turned out really nice, in my opinion. Anytime that I'm working with antique or vintage pieces, I always get a little nervous about ruining the original charm, that vintageness, if you will, because that's exactly what makes us love these old treasures in the first place, right? So I'm curious what you think about the face of the scale. Would you would you leave it as is, or would you have redone it? I don't know, guys. Depending on your thoughts, I may end up flipping the front, but for now, I just need a little bit of validation because I don't want to ruin this. I wanted to add some IOD transfers for this. So I pulled out their booklet. It's called St. Germain. I think it's our last release in the spring. And I thought this little pink flower coming up would be such a nice addition. I'm trying to do a lot better by using what I already have on hand. I don't know why I do this. I hoard stuff like this because in my mind, I paid a lot of money for it, so I don't want to use it up. It's that frugal, piece in my mind that my grandmother handed down to me. Don't waste. I ended up not using those plums that I cut out, but I do end up using this pretty rose up here. And then I end up grabbing a bit of this greenery to add as well. It's really nice to layer your transfers. And when I started, I wouldn't do this. It made me nervous. And now I enjoy layering, and it adds a lot of variation to your project. So don't be afraid. Don't be like me and afraid to use what you have in trying some layering. I'm going to eyeball where I want this to go. And then I'm going to end up placing that pretty rose petal right over the top. These transfer so nicely without any hesitation. Guys, if you've watched any of my recent videos, you probably heard me mention that I planned on doing some short Halloween projects each week. I think did say two, but honestly, I think that might be a little bit too much Halloween. So instead, I'll just sprinkle them here and there. I really do love Halloween and the chance to express myself through it, but like I said, too much can feel a little over the top. And I know not everyone celebrates, especially those of faith. I too have my own faith, but I still enjoy the holiday. So while I've been chatting, you can see I'm layering that rose, connecting the stem to one of the granary stems. And if you're new here, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you enjoy this little project, and if you like thrift flips, you'll find a lot of those on my channel. I also use a lot of IOD and redesign products, but I feel like they really level up a project. Plus, I take part in a lot of challenges, like what would you make in just our imagination, for example. So if you like those types of things, stick around. I'm so happy just to have you here, and I'm actually working toward my goal of 1,000 subscribers by September 23rd, 2025. That's not that far away. It's a little less than a month away. So it would mean the world to me if you'd support me by subscribing and sharing my videos. And you know that I always love hearing from you in the comments. I mean, those who have been around, you know. And I just want to let everybody know my All About Animals with my friend Yetta. This month it will be on the 11th, so keep a lookout for that. I will post a reminder. This is something that Yetta and I do every month together. We are both so passionate about animals, and we want to make sure that we recognize them every month just by sharing some projects and some inspiration and the beauty of our world's creatures. So that will be coming right up. In October is our 12 Days of Christmas. So starting October 1st, it's a huge collaboration, and I'm excited for that. You saw me take out the plum. I just decided not to use that. So to finish it off, I'm going over the entire piece using Extreme Guard Satin by Paint Couture, and this just seals everything in nicely and make sure that your piece is protected. This dries in no time, so within an hour, you can just jump right in and finish off your piece. If you want, you can add another coat, but that's it. That completes this cute little vintage scale. This little scale turned out to be such a sweet little project, and I love how it still holds its vintage charm, but now it has that extra touch of personality with the florals layered in. I feel like it's always been meant to look this way. I truly hope you enjoyed this project as much as I did. If you did, I would be so thankful if you gave it a like, left me a comment down below so I know. Your words always mean so much to me. I read every one. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. Until the next one, guys. Bye.